Hello everyone. Let's begin the second part in the sectors of Indian economy. In the previous class, we have discussed about GDP, gross domestic product, three sectors in any economy. Which are the three sectors in any economy? Primary, secondary and tertiary sector, and share of sectors in terms of employment. In India, more laborers are employed in the primary sector, but due to disguised unemployment, the share of sector, that means the share or contribution from the primary sector is low. Now I move on to how to solve the problem of disguised unemployment and create more employment opportunities in the secondary and tertiary sectors in India. How to create more employment? There are short-term and long-term measures to create employment. Short-term. In economics, the short-term means a period less than 1 year. Long-term is a period more than 1 year. It may be 2 years, 3 years, 5 years or more. First we will check the short-term measure. Which is the short-term measure to create more employment in India? One of the program implemented by Government of India is NREGA 2005. National Rural Employment Guarantee Act, implemented in 2005. Later, this NREGA program, they renamed it as MGNREGA, Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act. We'll check what this program. This program is coming under right to work. The central government in India recently made a law implementing the right to work in 200 districts of India, later extended to more districts in India. Under NREGA 2005, all those who are able to and are in need of work have to guarantee 100 days of employment in a year by the government. If the government fails in its duty to provide employment, it will give unemployment allowances to the people. So what we learned, it is the short-term measure. We are discussing about the short-term measure to create more employment in India, and one such program is NREGA 2005. Later renamed it as MGNREGA, Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act. And this act guarantees 100 days of employment in a year. If government fails its duty, they will provide unemployment allowances to the people. Now we'll check the long-term measure. Long-term measures to create more employment. Coming to the first measure, investment in infrastructure. If the government invests some money for a new dam, transportation and storage of crops, then farmers can continue to grow and sell their crops. Infrastructure facilities will also promote employment in service sector. Suppose a new dam is constructed. This could lead to a lot of employment generation in agriculture sector and secondary sector. Moving to the second point, cheap credit. Credit means loan. Cheap credit means loan at a low rate of interest. So we'll check how the loans at a low rate of interest helps to generate more employment opportunities. Cheap credit. If the local banks give credit at a reasonable rate of interest, poor farmers can buy high-yielding variety seeds, fertilizers, agricultural equipments, etc. Okay, so if local banks are providing loans at a low rate of interest, that helps the farmers to get or to buy HYV seeds, fertilizers and do more job. Moving to the third measure to create more employment opportunities, long-term measure, promote local industries. Promote local industries in semi-rural areas. promote local industries. Another way by which we can tackle this problem is to identify, promote and locate industries and services in semi-rural areas where a large number of people may be employed. Locate industries in semi-rural areas so more people will get employment. Moving to the last measure, investment in health and education. A study conducted by Planning Commission suggests that more jobs can be created in education sector, health, tourism, regional craft and IT. Only 2/3 of the school-going children are attending schools in India. That means some children are not attending. If these children need to attend schools, we need more schools, more teaching staff and more other staff. That will lead to create more employment opportunities in health and education sector. These are some ways by which jobs would be created. We would also be able to address the important aspects of development. So what we have discussed now, which are the short-term and long-term measures to create employment opportunities in India, and which is the short-term measure, that is NREGA. The NREGA 2005 is the short-term measure to create employment, and long-term measures are, there are 4 long-term measures: investment in infrastructure, cheap credit, promote local industries, investment in health and education. Now, division of sectors. We know sectors are classified in any economy into 3: primary, secondary and tertiary sectors. But these sectors are again classified. How? On which basis? We'll check. Sectors, division of sectors on the basis of conditions of work or mode of employment. On the basis of mode of employment, sectors are again classified into organized sector and unorganized sector. On the basis of ownership or in terms of ownership, sectors are classified into public sector and private sector. Okay, we'll check the details, children. Organized sector. First division on the basis of mode of employment or conditions of work, organized sector. We'll check the details. It covers those enterprises where terms of employment are regular and people have assured work. Examples are government employees, registered industrial workers. They are registered by the government. It has some formal process and procedures. They have to follow government's rules and regulations. For example, Minimum Wages Act. It is an act of parliament, guarantees minimum wages to employees. Workers in this sector enjoy security of employment, are expected to work only a fixed number of hours. Also get several other benefits like provident funds, medical facilities, etc. We are discussing about the first division of first division in sectors, organized sector on the basis of mode of employment. Organized sector, examples are government employees, registered industrial workers, and this sector are registered by the government. They need to follow government's rules and regulations. They enjoy security of employment. They need to work only a fixed number of hours and also get other benefits. We'll check the conditions in unorganized sector. Moving to unorganized sector, the sector is characterized by small and scattered units which are largely outside the control of the government. Jobs are low paid and often not regular. There is no provision for leave due to sickness and overtime payment. Employment is not secure. People can be asked to leave without any reason. Unorganized sector, second division on the basis of mode of employment. Employment is not secure, scattered units, low paid, no provision for medical leave, and people can be asked to leave without any reason. Moving to sectors in terms of ownership. How sectors are classified in terms of ownership? Public sector and private sector. Coming to public sector, in this sector, the government owns most of the assets and provides all the services. Example, railways, post office. The purpose of this sector is not just to earn profits, but for the welfare of the people. First division in terms of ownership, public sector owned by the government. All the assets in the public sector owned by the government. Example, railways, post office. And coming to the profit motive or welfare motive, public sector is more welfare oriented. Private sector, second division in terms of ownership. Private sector, assets and the delivery of services is in the hands of private individuals or companies. Examples are Reliance Industries Limited, Tata Iron and Steel Company. Activities in the private sector are guided by the motive to earn profit. Okay, so what we have learned now? Sectors are classified in terms of ownership, public sector and private sector. Public sector owned by the government. Examples, railways and one more, railways, post office. Okay, and they are, public sector is more welfare oriented. In the private sector, what we learned in the private sector, owned by companies or a group of individuals. They are profit oriented. Examples, Reliance and Tisco. Another topic related to public sector itself, children. Why do governments spend on a whole range of activities? Why government is spending money, or why government need to spend in certain services? We'll check. First of all, huge investment projects. Projects like construction of railways, bridges, harbors need spending large sums of money which is beyond the capacity of the private sector. Even if they do provide these things, they would charge a high rate for their use. A huge investment project, for example, railway construction. Okay, individual or a group of individuals cannot invest that much money. If they invest also, they will charge high rate for the service. So huge investment projects government need to spend. Food security, ensuring food security in a country. Public distribution system or ration shops is the responsibility of public sector. Government supports farmers with a minimum support price for their crops and distributes through ration shops at a lower price. That price is known as fair price. So government supports both farmers and consumers. Second reason why government need to spend for ensuring food security in a country. So government supports both farmers and consumers. And the last point, the government must spend. It is the primary responsibility of the government to provide health and educational facilities to all. The government also needs to pay attention to the aspects of human development such as availability of safe drinking water, housing facilities, food and nutrition. Certain essential services government need to spend for human development, health and educational facilities, government need to spend. So what we have discussed now, why do governments spend on a whole range of activities, huge investment projects for ensuring food security, and government must spend on essential services. Coming to homework and assignments, read last 8 pages of the chapter. Homework questions. First one, explain the objective of implementing NREGA 2005. That question may be asked in this way also, children. Explain the short-term measure implemented by government to create more employment in 2005. Second question, which are the long-term measures to create employment in a country like India? Third question, how sectors are classified on the basis of conditions of work or mode of employment. And this third question can also come in a different way, distinguish between organized and unorganized sector. Question number 4, how sectors are classified on basis of ownership. Question number 5, why do governments spend on a whole range of activities? Assignment questions, before assignment question, mark the answers in the textbook itself and learn. Homework questions, you can mark it in the textbook itself and learn. Coming to the assignment question, use A4 sheet. How to protect workers in the unorganized sector? Refer textbook. That's all about the chapter. Thanks for watching.